We have three of my favorite troublemakers. I'm just looking at my screen. I don't know how you're seeing them, but we have Darren Doane, James Orsini, and David Meltzer. And let's just start. David, where are you? I see tiki hut grass in the back.
Yeah, I'm in Bora Bora, so I had to make my appearance. I cause a lot of trouble even when I'm in activity I don't get paid for. I always delve into activity I do get paid for while I'm in these bucket list places. But I got an ATV trip I got to get onto, but I wanted to come in here for 10 minutes because I heard Darren and James are in here. Paul, you guys, I could not miss this. So I just wanted to add anything I could real quick to cause some trouble from the other side of the world.
Love it.
I feel like we have to help him out with the. I got to give him a backwards hat.
We'll go backwards hats for this one. Look at that. We're going backwards hat because we're making trouble. Let's see. James is wearing his NFT. James, it's been a while since we've seen each other face to face. Thank you so much for giving us. I know, you all kind of know each other already. So, let James. What's going on? Oh, he's got his cougar hat on.
We had a good chat in the green room, man. You guys should have recorded that.
Yeah,
there were nuggets of gold.
Just
dropping
tell us
back
about
there.
it. Tell us about it. What came out of that?
All right, well, we'll get to that in a second. Because that probably is going to end up being the topic. Last but certainly not least, the legend Darren Doane. Okay, James, tell me a little bit about the conversation in the green room.
Yeah, it was just sparks were flying around the opportunity that the NFT world brings to commonplace order. I mean, David was talking about what the future could hold as fractional ownership in commercial real estate. Think of it like a Robin Hood model comes to the masses.
I wonder if fractional car ownership could be down the line too, via NFTs. All right, so we could go down that rabbit hole forever. We talk about it a lot on our podcast, but I don't want to lose people. We are going to be issuing a POAP for this event, so we want to make sure that all of you get here. Actually, we should make a speaker POAP.
Let's do it.
So we're going to have an ASOTU speaker POAP, so all of you will get one to say that you were speaking at the first retail automotive event that issued an NFT for all of history. No one will ever get to say it again. Okay, so what I'd like to do is start off by asking each of you for like a 1-minute summary of what you think the current business climate is. Retail. We're thinking retail business climate. How would you summarize it? James, we'll let you go first since you're on the screen.
Yeah, I think I love when people say retail is dead. Bad retail is dead. Obviously direct to consumer is part of it, but people still like an experience. I mean, my kids are scratching at the door, during this COVID environment because they want to be out and about. They want to be touching product. They want to be seeing stuff. So we were fortunate in that a majority of our shopping had been done direct to consumer, but just having a good retail experience, and I think that's what we have to think about. What does that look like in the future? It certainly looks different than stodgy anchor stores in malls. I remember a great Nike store down in Soho where if you're trying basketball shoes on, you are shooting baskets in a hard court to determine whether or not those shoes are right for you. And if you're buying running shoes, you're on a treadmill or elliptical right there in the retail experience. So just having more of that, I think, is going to be good for us.
Thank you, Dave. We're going to bounce over to you because I know you got an ATV running outside your hut there. What is your perspective is actually a little bit broader because you work with a lot of influencers, you work with a lot of athletes. So your perspective might be a little bit of a different angle. So what do you think? Give us a summary on what you think the retail business climate is now.
Yeah, I think the problem is people look at the retail business as James was suggesting in the wrong way. Demand is high, right? There's more money out there than ever. There's more purchasers out there. There's more consumption out there. So it's retail. My perspective is great. I mean, I've been around a long time. There's more money out there. I got 3 daughters, for example, and a wife. They are the GMP's dream girls. These guys are buying all kinds of shit. So you have to get creative to go ahead and capture that audience because the money has never been in a greater flow than it is today. We just sunk trillions of dollars into the economy from every level, from the low income to mid to high. So the real focus should be on is how do I provide to the demand that exists, not is there a good retail climate right now. It's how do I provide, because we have a lot of challenges in getting the products how do we distribute the products, deliver the products, and that's where our focus should be. But I think, man, am I optimistic. I'm a toptimist when it comes to retail, and those that understand, there'll be a third who understand it, a third that stays the same, and a third that will get killed. That's the way it usually works out. And remember, 99% of all my statistics are made up, so please take that very.
Well, I would say a third are the troublemakers. And speaking of troublemakers, Darren, I'm going to twist this question a little bit because you've been a part of brand building for all kinds of brands, all the way up doing OEM work for Toyota, Yamaha. You're working with major label artists. So some of your more recent stuff where you're not actually selling a product, you're selling a belief with the New Earth Project. So what is your perspective on the opportunity for any company to build a brand through like what would traditionally seem like a retail channel?
How's the reception going? Can you guys hear me?
You sound
up
great.
here in North
Good.
Idaho?
Yeah,
good.
You sound great.
If they still running 9,600 baud modems in Idaho?
No, he's got a satellite dish now. He's running Starlink, aren't you?
I have Starlink in the other. I have Starlink in the other spot.
I'm in goddamn Bora Bora, and my connection's better than that shit. Come on.
Oh, how appropriate that Darren freezes.
No, dude, believe me.
Okay.
It's an issue.
We're all going to stay very still so that we don't chew up any of your bandwidth. Both of you said there's a lot of money to be spent out there. And, you know, I, for one, have, in my perception of the retail industry, like even with automotive, people are paying more for cars than ever, right? It's not like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, right? And people aren't scraping to try to come up with it. So, James, when you're talking about how you advise a lot of small, medium-sized business and a lot of large companies, you see in a window into them. What's their strategy moving forward? Like, how are they approaching?
Well, we've been actually telling them to raise prices. I mean, you know, when they're selling out, we're like, listen, that's probably not a good thing. Let's raise the prices so you don't sell out. You know, we were representing a blueberry company out of New Jersey, and their prices are twice what you can get a blueberry for. Now you got to have a compelling story and reason for why somebody would pay more for that product. And I think that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the strategic storytelling for, you know, why is my product twice as much as something else that you could buy on the shelf? And you better have that story and that content, you know, codified so your consumer understands it and is willing to pay the premium for it.
David, any commentary on that?
Yeah, I think there's a huge opportunity not in just raising prices, but wait lists. You know, I think building your audience and community for the future, even if they don't take the transaction at a later date because they may have already spent the money or purchased a competitor, there's a huge opportunity to gain data by having wait lists for your product if there is that high of a demand. And so creating a content community that you can keep on feeding, not just that products, other partners, et cetera, is a huge opportunity. You saw that in your industry with the Ford Lightning. You know, I can't even imagine how many hundreds of thousands of people are on their $100 wait list, but they're getting their credit cards, they're getting their location, they're getting their interest, their demographic, and that's going to be more valuable than selling a car. And there's hundreds of thousands of those people that they never were able to get to before. So I think there's a huge opportunity with waitlist community beyond. Definitely always raise the price when the demand's high. That's basic economics, which James does so well and is just an amazing attribute to tons of companies to teach them the basics. Because as James and I will tell you, and Darren, hopefully his bandwidth can hear us, it's amazing how big corporations don't know the basics, just like big investors don't know the basics. That's how a guy like me in 2008 lost over $100 million. I was financially illiterate, went to business school, law school, top of my class, running a sports agency that everybody knew of in the world, yet I was financially illiterate. So know the basics. I'm going to have to jump now that the A team's back.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. I'm going ATVing with my family.
Have fun.
Nice.
Enjoy the view.
Thanks
Enjoy,
for being here,
David.
David.
Thanks, David.
I love you guys. Keep in touch. Have a great Christmas. Thanks for allowing me to cause some trouble.
Ciao,
Love
man.
you, brother. Have fun.
Take
I think-
care.
All
Here,
right.
Paul,
Okay,
if
good.
you
Darren,
can hear
tag.
me
It's
now,
like a
I-
wrestling
that's
match.
something.
Tag team. Darren's in his bedroom now. Go.
Okay, well, one of my clients is Atlantic Packaging, are the largest privately held packaging company in North America, almost $1 billion company. And something that I'm excited about is the way they're connecting the retail experience through packaging. When you get a package now, that is an extension of the retail experience.
Absolutely.
And so what people are experiencing when they open that box, do they want to see a lot of, single-use plastic? Do they want to see things that they don't think are environmentally friendly? That experience now with that box is connecting to retail. Historically, we've never seen the package that shows up as a true extension of retail. And I think you're going to see that being a big play all through 2022.
That's an interesting perspective, because people are more than ever paying attention to what's in the box, right? From a reusability standpoint.
Yeah, and I think
100%.
The merger of every aspect of business, whether it be the purchase or the pre-purchase experience, and I loved, James, you were kind of tying in this like content and experience pre-purchase, brand build, why buy. And earlier you said, the experience in the retail experience, right? And Darren was just pointing to the delivery experience, that there's actually like the fluidity between all of them. So especially like, how are you encouraging brands to pay attention to all of them and not just one segment of it, right?
Well, commending the brands when they do. I had a wonderful customer experience for AT&T recently. I bought a new iPhone, and they sent somebody to my house to set it up in my kitchen. Like, doorbell rings, and that's their customer service now. We're gonna, James, you ordered 5 of these for your family. Well, we sent somebody to your house, and we're setting that up. So don't worry about the nuances of pushing stuff to the cloud, downloading it to your phone. We will do it in your own home. So that's some of the beauty of what came out of this COVID experience, is that there was better customer service, cleaner, speedier, curbside service. Those things are not going to go away, regardless of what happens here, because now, customers got used to a better service experience. And I think that's going to be around for a while. The reminders of, hey, we think you might be running out of this particular product, so let us know if you want to order it again. You ordered this, but you might want to think of that. They kind of go together. So we've been having great direct to consumer experience, and it's putting pressure on retailers to get better when you have me as a captive audience in your store.
I think this is a great example to draw a thread. We have 2 minutes left. The thread drawing between the two that I'm seeing form up is that, James, you're talking about the experience of the product and a very long-standing established company realizing that we need to change the way we do things to deliver an experience. Darren, on the other side, is dealing with a packaging company that no one ever thinks of. It was usually thought of like as an expense, as a throwaway. But what Darren's saying is now working with a packaging company is attaching meaning to the packaging that now means something to consumer, because now it becomes a part of the brand's belief system, right? And all of those things are coming together.
We're building and we're building that brand within the packaging. So what we've done with Atlantic Packaging, like, we're making sure that that in itself is a brand where when they get that package, it's New Earth approved. So our brand is called New Earth, and New Earth is, when they open it, that's what we're building now, that everything in there is sustainable. Everything is a paper product that should end up in the 06. And so we're building that now. Is that package New Earth approved? And so that's branding and everything, took the James and Vayner and Sasha. It's like, right down to that package. Can you build a brand? And the answer is yes, with everything you see there. And what we're doing is we want to be the JD Power of packaging for them, for that client. Is it New Earth approved? Or can New Earth, through Atlantic Packaging, bring you packaging solutions to help you? Can we help with an audit? All that's brand, and it's completely new vertical for them. Never would I ever have thought of even doing that for a client, had it not been for Vayner and for Sasha and for what we see here. So I owe a ton to this guy right here.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, so we got A little less than 2 minutes left. I would love to hear your perspective on the automotive industry and what would you encourage auto dealers to do? Again, very old established industry, slow to turn, but there are a lot of people paying attention and making trouble. So if you're saying one thing to them and one encouragement to them heading into 22, what's it going to be? Maybe take 30 seconds. We'll start with Darren and with James.
You don't even need the top, auto companies to send you footage or clips or video. Go make all your own content, work at your own speed, and keep it regional to where you're selling cars. Let your brand be regional, local.
All right. Thank you very much, James Orsini.
Yeah, for me, it's all about the customer experience. Make me want to spend that extra money. If you're Mercedes-Benz, you better differentiate yourself in the space, because we're finding I've been getting great customer experience from cars that I'm spending half the amount of money that I used to on Mercedes and BMW. So for me, it's a painful process. Treat me right, help me get through it, navigate my way through it.
James, Darren, thank you so much for just taking a little time out of a holiday week, spending it here with us in the automotive industry. This is just the beginning of our troublemaking. Just blessings to you and your families, and can't wait to make some more trouble next year.
Thanks, guys.